excited to welcome Miss Sylvia Martinelli to our stage. Sylvia is going to demonstrate a new dry mix that's naturally gluten-free and based off of a traditional recipe from Brazil for pão de queijo. Pão de queijo. I'm trying my best, which is a cheese puff or cheese bread. She'll show us how to use this mix to create pastries, crepes, waffles, pizza dough, and more. Let's put our hands together for Sylvia Martinelli.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for being here and watching me. So I'm going to start off of giving you some introduction of what is my base for all my products. So basically, if you see a picture right here, meet my brother. His name is Leandro, and he's there in Brazil holding up the manioc root. So that's the root that is the base for all my products, from the frozen line to the mixed line. So I grew up eating that root, and then you might wonder, what is manioc? It's like a big yam, or the same family as cassava roots. So it's like a yam and a potato, right? So different texture, different taste, but same family. I use manioc because I like the texture, and because the farms that we get the manioc from, they're all sustainable and also fair trade too. So basically what happens in Brazil is like they grow manioc, and then they cut the trunks, and then you cut it, and then you plant, and it grows again. So it's a very sustainable root. Naturally gluten-free, so I didn't have to do any work on that. And it's, the taste is very plain, so whatever you mix with it, that's how it goes. So you can do sweets or savories with the same root. That's our base. The other ingredients that I use, they're local ingredients: cheese, eggs, milk, a little bit of oil. That's it for our frozen line. And now we're introducing our dry mix line. So for our frozen line, they come already pre-made. I make them in Maple Ridge in a dedicated gluten-free facility. You get them like this, frozen, put it in a baking sheet, stick it into the oven, 20 minutes, they're ready to go. And they are gluten-free and nut-free. We started here 4 years ago. That was my first ever event and expo as a company. And I'm very glad to be here today on stage, because at that time, I was with a bag full of dreams and no idea what a business was. I only had a recipe, which I grew up eating and making, and and I wanted to test it and see how people would react to it. And we only had original at that time. And we sold out in 4 hours. And I remember thinking, like, awesome, like I can really make it, I can really like have a business with this. So after that, we grew our line, and I'm so happy today to be introducing to you the new one, okay? Just a little heads up, my facility is gluten and nut-free, but my new dry line that has one ingredient that their facility might have nuts, so I don't have the test from the results from the lab yet. As soon as I have it, I can qualify everything as nut-free. For now, these are not as qualified as nut-free yet, because I can't guarantee with my own test. As soon as I have it, then we will take out the disclaimer from the bags, okay? So if you have nut allergies, you can eat those, not these ones yet, okay? Now I'm gonna start with our vegan mix. So basically, all our mixes, you can make more than one thing out of it. So the vegan one, for example, I'm gonna make waffles. But you can make crepes, pancakes, pizza, pastries, whatever you feel like. You will see it's very easy to do. It doesn't take a long time. I work like 24/7, so I have to make things fast and healthy, and that are done really fast. So basically, this is the mix. So you get one bag, and then you pour into your bowl. You will see how it is. And then you add 2 tablespoons of oil. Let me grab it right there. Here. I'm using a organic sunflower oil, but you pretty much can use any type of oil. Just adapt to the texture. So for example, if you're using coconut oil, it's very thick. So if you use coconut oil, use 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is enough, okay? And here it is. So I'm not using the coconut one, so it's gonna go 2. So 1 and 2. There you go. And we're gonna do right now water. So 300 mLs of water. Sorry, I do mLs and grams because that's what it is in Brazil, but it's like a cup and a half. We have it in the bag, so you guys can follow too. But 300 mLs of water. That's it. And then you mix it. So like I was saying before, it's very difficult, take a long time. Just kidding. You just mix like this. Like that. And wait until it absorbs a little bit. Okay. So once you mix the bulk of it, I just use my hands. Because again, not very patient person. I was like, just mix it. So basically you mix it like this. And it becomes more like a bread dough. So, like this. You don't have to let it rise. You don't have to put it to rest. No, just the way it is here, you're gonna use it. So, right now, we're gonna make some waffles. So, just separate a piece like this. What you can do, if you wanna make exactly the same size waffles, like, or have exactly the same portions, just divide it when you finish the dough. So you finish the dough, and then you can divide it in 4 pieces or 5 pieces or whatever you prefer. In this case here, I'm just gonna make it from the dough because I kind of know how much it is, but one bag can make 4 to 5 waffles this big. It depends on how thin you want it, right? But basically you just spread like this, and then put it in the middle of it, okay? Don't worry too much about stretching to the end because the machine will work its way and it will fill up. So don't worry about it. It will fill up. So we're going to leave this working its magic right there while I make the next thing, okay? So this one takes about 5 minutes. 5 minutes over there, it will be enough. But we'll be looking at it. So I'll put this on the side right now. And now I'm gonna make the cheddar, which is my second product right here. So this product comes already with dehydrated ingredients. So it comes with dehydrated milk, dehydrated cheese as well. So basically in here, you're gonna add eggs and water and a little bit of oil. If you don't want to add the eggs, just add the same quantity of water instead. Let's say you're egg-free or something. Just use the water instead because manioc will bind it together and will give the texture that you wanted. We just like the taste of the eggs in the recipe because it makes some difference too. So the process is almost the same. You put your mix right here. And then you add some eggs, which is in the fridge. Just a second. Okay. Okay. 2 eggs. Now for this one, a little bit less water, okay? Don't worry about that, it's normal, it has some smoke. For that one is 1 quart of a cup of water, so just a little bit. Right there. You can add just a little bit less and then give the texture as you go, okay? It's always good to add less and work your way through a dough, and then so you're able to fix it if something goes wrong. I don't get it right the first time. Sometimes I get it wrong, so I always go like slowly and checking. But 2 tablespoons of oil. If you like it softer, like if you like a dough to be a little bit soft, not as chewy, don't add the oil. Just use the mix with the water and the eggs. And then you get a little bit softer dough. So basically from here, sorry, You just mix it like this. Again, with the same dough, you can make pizzas or waffles or sticks or crepes. To make the crepes, you double the eggs. Double the eggs, and then you can beat by hands or use a mixer. And then you can have more like a batter consistency. With a batter consistency, you can work better making crepes or pancakes. And it depends on the consistency that you would like to have it too, right? I like to handle the dough, so I like more like a bread consistency. That's why I add a little bit less water, a little bit like just a little bit of eggs, so I get a more bread-like consistency. So I'm just gonna change my gloves. I don't know if you can see from there. I'll show you. But it looks like this, like a bread dough. And that's pretty much how we're gonna use it. And the way I'm making here is the basic of the basic recipes. So with just water and eggs, but you can increment. You can put milk and you can add a cup of cheese to make it even more cheesier. It's up to you. I want to make the basic so you can see what it is, and then from there you can work your way to any kind of textures you like. But basically, that's what it is. So that's my dough. Now, you can split in two and make a thin crust pizza, or a smaller size of pizza, or you can use the way it is and make a larger one. Just be aware that the pizza will rise. So if you don't like it as thick, split in two and make a thin crust on your pizza sheet. So I'm going to show you here. So for about this size, I'm gonna use the whole thing. But you will see how it's going to rise. And sometimes, some people don't like to use hands, or like, I don't know. Sometimes if you don't have the gloves, they might get sticky. So if you use a plastic wrap, you can use this too, which makes the life easier. Or if you have a smaller baking sheet and you just want to handle by hand, it's not going to stick to your hands, but it will stick to this. So I'm going to use some shrink wrap, and then that is going to make a little bit easier for us to roll it. Come on. Sometimes it does, at least. So, yeah. Sometimes I like this, sometimes I just like by hands, because it doesn't get the corners, so yeah. You start with that and you go by hands, and that's okay. So you just spread it out throughout the pan. So we're gonna have to pre-bake this dough. About 5 minutes in the oven, and it will be ready, okay? Before you put your toppings, pre-bake, because it will rise a little bit. If you put your toppings right here, right away, it might not rise as much, okay? So you can go to the end, or you can leave it like this. So we're gonna leave it like this, and we're gonna pre-bake. So, okay. Right about now, our waffles should be getting ready. Again, that one is vegan and dairy-free. So if you have dairy allergies, then that's the one for you to try, okay? And our manioc flour also does the waffles. You just have to add the other ingredients. You just have to blend some eggs in it and some milk or water if you prefer. Yeah, see? That's how it turns out. So basically, you can use your hands and then cut it or what you prefer. Like, so you can see it is the full size. So you can make about 4 to 5 with a bag. And you can eat sweet or savory. I'm just going to give it to our nice assistant there to pass along. Don't worry about if you don't get a piece right now because I'm making throughout the presentation. So you'll get your chance. And be aware, it's hot. It just came out, okay? Okay, so thank you. So I'm going to quickly put one more there before I do my next thing. So again, same dough. Exactly same dough. Stretch it out. Nice like this. Put it right in the middle of the waffle machine and close it down. Leave it there. 5 minutes, it will be ready. Now we're gonna make some garlic sticks. Okay? So, thank you. Oh, it's fast. Now, I want to make puffs from the garlic sticks. Yes, you can round it out and make puffs. I want to make pizza from the garlic sticks. You can. So we just made it into a stick so people can see that you can make more than one shape and things out of the products. But you can really play around and have fun with it. We use the cheddar, the white cheddar, because some people like white cheddar, some people like regular cheddar, so we give it options. And as a base, as you see, our frozen products, they have flavors, right? So you can use the cheddar and the white cheddar as a base and add jalapenos. You can add sun-dried tomatoes. You can add the garlic. It's up to you. Or you can get the garlic one and use like this. So basic from here, same thing. 2 eggs. One and 2. One or 2 tablespoons of oil. It depends on how much crunchy you want. If you want really crunchy or not as crunchy. Whatever you like better. So if you see the waffles, they're a little bit crunchy outside. I use 2 tablespoons of oil. The garlic sticks I like a little more soft, so you can use 1. It's up to you. Whatever you prefer. And water. So for the garlic sticks, the same quantity as water of the cheddar. It's 1/4 of a cup. So again, you can add a little bit, see how the texture goes, and add more as you need. Up to you. But few more minutes, I'm gonna check my pizza dough, see how it is. Hopefully it's not too thin for the oven. We'll find out soon enough. But here it is. That's my garlic stick. So might need a little bit more water. We'll see how it goes. Might be okay. Like, it's good. Didn't need all the water, so. Okay, let me check my pizza dough, because I'm worried about it. I want to see. That oven is much better than mine, so we'll see. It's probably ready already. Almost. The side's almost ready. The middle, a little bit. Okay. Garlic sticks. Now, with the sticks, you can make thin and long or short. It's up to you. It depends on how many guests you have in your party. So we usually make short and more, so more people can have it. But really, they go fast. Once you put them out, they're gone. You can just start making the sizes that you want. Just be aware, again, they puff. So you have to leave about an inch between them because they will rise, okay? I think our pizza is ready. I'm gonna have to leave this a little bit. Okay, let's check our pizza. Yeah. Okay, so, whoops, don't come out. So see, the middle, it's all the same color. So when it's not ready, the middle will be like darker. So when it's darker, you need to put it back. So they need to be a lighter color. That means it pre-baked. So if it's already pre-baked, you can add your sauce, and then you can add your cheese. So now, we're in the gluten-free expo, so I'm using a gluten-free sauce, which is ahi. It's delicious. She is at booth 500. So check it out, and you're going to be able to taste it here. So we're going to use her sauce, which is gluten-free and natural too. So and I like it because it's actually the ingredients. Like you can see the little pieces of tomato right there, and the spices. So basically, it's the real thing. It's not like not those chemical ones. It's right there. And we're gonna do only with cheese because I don't know if they're vegetarians and or not in the audience. But you can put like green peppers. You can put I love olives. You can put olives. You can like basil, whatever you'd like. You can put it on. But I'm gonna only make with cheese so everybody can try. Okay? Unless you have dairy allergies, then you have my vegan waffle here. And I don't know about you, but I'm a cheeseaholic, so it has to have cheese. So I have to have cheese in the dough, on top of the dough, around the dough, whatever. I see cheese, I have to have it. So there you go. So I don't save on the cheese. You'll see that on my products. No, it's a cheese bun has to have cheese in it. So here it is. In you go. As you can see, I can't feel it anymore, so I get hot stuff, cold stuff, the same thing to me. There we go. Now, what about now it will be ready our other vegan waffles, so more people can try. And that's pretty much my life, and probably yours in the kitchen. You were like cooking something here, checking something over there, doing something over there, and there you go. So yeah. So I like the products too because you can make different things at different times, and you can have this going, that going, and don't have to worry about it. So we're gonna have some more samples for the vegan waffles. So if you are dairy-free and you use the vegan mix, be aware the vegan mix for some reason decided to rise more than the others. So when you're making the buns with them, 2 inches between them. Because the first time I made it, they were all together in the same line. You have to leave it a little bit more space because it rises much more. Okay, so here it is, so more people can try. Thank you so much. So now we're gonna make more. Okay. Yeah, in this case, we're gonna have 4, because I'm making 4 big ones. 4 waffles from 1 bag. There you go. Leave it there. Forget about, just kidding. Don't forget about it. Keep looking at it. Okay. Now we're gonna make the sticks. Okay. So, the other thing too is I found it is if you got the wrong quantity for the liquids, if you put too much water, I noticed if you leave it on the side for 2-3 minutes, then the dough is gonna absorb the water. So the manioc is like, it would absorb everything. So basically, then now you're able to handle it. So you got it wrong, just leave it on the side a little bit and it will absorb. I fixed things like this before. It was awesome because it fixed it. But here, so you can get about this big and then you roll it. I like to make At this time, if we make longer sticks, they bake faster, and then you can cut in half if you'd like, but basically like this, and then you put it in your baking oven, and it's gonna bake in about, flip them so they cook evenly, okay? Like this. Now, I wanna talk a little bit about the manioc flour. So, I think I already told you that, that's my brother holding it up, that we bring from Brazil, but there are 3 types of flour that comes out of manioc root. So there is the coarse part of the flour. So basically how they do it is they peel it, grind it, and then there's the coarse part of the flour. The coarse part of the flour we don't use for this. We use for barbecue in Brazil. So you roast and you roll your barbecue in it, your meat, and then you eat it. It's crunchy. It does not dissolve. So that's the coarse part of the root. Then there are 3 more flours that come out. So the starchy part, like the drying part of the flour, the thicker one, they leave it to dry in the sun so it naturally ferments. So that's the second flour. And then there's one that they refine that and make a thinner flour. So we use a blend of those. So the natural fermentation in our products make them rise. You don't have to use yeast or baking soda or anything like this. The manioc by itself makes it binding, but the fermentation makes it rise. So that's why the vegan rise even without eggs. That's why if you get these bags and you make other things without eggs, it will rise as well. So we use a blend of the naturally fermented plus the refined one. So that makes a lot of difference when you're baking, okay? So that's a little bit about the flour. Now, where are my buns? Almost ready. Oh, we need to make some more vegan ones. So let's make some more vegan ones. Again, this is the base of the mixes. You can customize them. If you go to my booth and you try the frozen products, you will see they're much, much cheesier and gummier than these ones. So if you want that texture, add fresh cheese to it. So if I got that mix and I added a cup of fresh cheese, you would get more of a gummy texture and a little bit more of the frozen, okay? You can also make with milk instead of water. And you can also make like with eggs or without eggs, okay? Yeah. No, you can ask me now, it's your time. So when you use water, it gets a little bit, it's not so soft. It gets a little crunchier than just milk. Milk makes everything softer. So for example, if I use milk for them, for the mixes right now, or this, it will get crunchier faster. Like it combines with the oil and makes a little crunchy. I guess it's the fat in the milk that makes it, makes it soft with the milk, but with just water, it's a little crunchier. So with milk, it goes more like a bread. You know that bread texture that is, yes, yeah. Our frozen buns we make with milk. So our frozen buns is what you're gonna get with the texture. These ones I'm making with the dry. So when you try the pizza, you'll see there was no milk, so it's a little crunchier. Okay? Okay, so that's our garlic sticks already. So this one, I didn't put as much oil, so see, it's a little softer than our crunchy thing, our crunchy waffle. Here. I'm gonna use a different ones for the sticks, so if you have dairy allergies, that's my vegan one. This one is for dairy. So it's melting, but you'll see it's more like a bread texture, this one. Here. I'll cut some pieces.